What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Just leaving the gym, you know. It's 10:30. I went at like 9 this morning and went by myself again because Toby has a tournament today. So I don't know if he'll be going, but I listened to a Alex Hormozi interview on the Iced Coffee Hour with Graham Stephan, I think, and it was pretty good. They were talking about a bunch of things, but one of the things that was kind of cool was like, well, they started out with asking Alex if he went to college and like how he kind of started and stuff, and he said he did go to college. He went to school and he did well in college and in school. He played on the sports teams and he enjoyed the school, but then he was talking about like how he was trying to get into this business school and he aced these tests that are like the SATs but for business school to get in, and he aced them. And there was one question on the test that was like, how do you see this getting into this school helping you 5 years down the road, or something along those lines? And he thought about it for like days. He said like 4 days he tried to come up with an answer, and he's like, for the $200,000 that I'm going to spend on going to this school to try to learn business, I could just invest that into a business of my own, start a business, and learn something way faster, probably way better than this school would teach me. So he ended up doing that instead of going to school, and he said his parents did not like that idea because he's Persian, he says, and his parents are like the typical Middle Eastern parents where they want, like, school is very important to them. And so he ended up not going to the business school and instead starting a business. I forget what he said he started with, but he eventually, if you don't know Alex Hormozi, he was big in the gym business, and he like started his own gyms, and then he like started to partner with people, and then he started like selling a service to like get people enrolled into his gyms, into other people's gyms after he sold his gyms. And he just got really into like all aspects of business. But then he was talking about like how one time, like pretty early in this, when he was, I think it was after he started opened some of his gyms first, and he was saying that he went to this mastermind on marketing, and it taught him like a ton of stuff about marketing, and he said it cost $3,000. And they said that you'd make $10,000 by the end of the weekend, and if not, then you'd get your $3,000 back. And he's like, whoa, that's a lot of money. So he went in and didn't end up making any money because it was mostly focused towards like the people that already had a decent sized business. It was about getting leads. So if you had something to sell people, then he said he could have easily made that $10,000 by the end of the weekend. But since he was still pretty small, he didn't end up making any money out of it, and he didn't get his $3,000 back, but he didn't ask for it because he said what he got out of it was worth that $3,000, worth way more than the $3,000. So then he turned that into, like, he used that skill in his businesses and stuff, and that got me thinking, like, all these people that spend all this money, like, tens of thousands of dollars going to college to get a degree. And I mean, you can learn stuff out of college, but it takes a long time. You're not really focused on it, and that's like a big reason why I don't want to go to college. But then I was thinking, like, why don't people spend more money on these things, like that $3,000 mastermind that he went to? It's expensive, yeah, but what you get out of it, if you were to implement it, would probably end up making you like 10 times that amount. I'm like, wait a minute. that's something that I need to start doing, is spending money to go to masterminds and stuff, to learn things and implement them. And I mean, what's the worst thing that you can do? You lose the money, which that's another thing. I was watching another video of his last night, and he was talking about how he has this education, self-education, like a account almost, where he has money set aside for self-education, where he's allowed to spend that money on whatever he wants, and he doesn't have to get money out of it right away, and he like gives himself permission to use it so that he can learn something new without having without forcing himself to only spend it on something that's going to return him something. And I thought that was really cool, and I think that's something that I need to start doing, which once I start actually making money, I will, because right now just working part-time at a warehouse, not really making any money, but I should start putting things aside. And that's another thing too, I need to start opening some stuff where I have control of the things now that I'm an adult, because my family is very controlling about that stuff. So I don't really have my own things. I'm not really allowed to spend money on my own things like that. So that is something I'm going to do. And he was also talking about how, I mean, most people probably have heard of Grant Cardone. And Alex was saying that for Christmas, his wife got him a $120,000 Christmas present, and what it was 4 calls with Grant Cardone for like an hour, where he could ask him for advice and for his point of views and how he's doing things. And he said he's only used 2 of the 4 calls, but just from those 2 calls, he's already made like way more than that $120,000 that they spent on those calls. And that's another thing too with Alex Hormozy that I realized, is that if he wants to know something, he'll just call people and talk to them, and he has people that know about it. He also talks about like how you should have people in your business that have been in their field for like 10 years, because if you hire someone and you teach them, and that's the only way that they know about the thing is from you, and all of your employees are like that, then you only have one brain and it's your brain and everyone that's learned from you. So it's only one brain running the business, where if you get experts that know way more than you in certain areas and get them into your business, and then it's like a bunch of brains, and say like this person has 10 years in their field, this person has 10, this person has 20, then you have 40 years of experience in your business, rather than just like the maybe 5 that you have in one area that you're teaching people on. But anyways, it's really cool. I suggest watching some of Alex Hormozy's stuff. He's super knowledgeable, and it was a good podcast. And I didn't even talk about anything else in this video, just that. But it was really interesting, so I hope you got something out of it. And make sure you join that Discord, link in description. It's an online brotherhood. We just talk about life. Share the video with a friend, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.